Hey, welcome to my new channel, 2Commas Poker. Yes, I'm 2Commas, and you've probably seen me before on my other channel, Year of the Wager. So if you are familiar with me, welcome to the new channel. I'm glad you're here. If you're not, welcome anyway. I'm glad you found me. On this channel, we're going to be focusing on specifically mixed game poker vlogs. We play everything from Badugi to 7-card stud to Omaha to double board Omaha to everything out there under the sun. And that's what we're going to be actually doing today. We're going to be going over my mixed game poker festival appearance out in Las Vegas late last year. And we're going to be showcasing actually 2 sessions of 2040 that I played at the Wynn. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it. I know you will. So go ahead and like and subscribe. And as always, if you want to learn these games from me personally, leave me a comment. We could talk about doing some poker coaching. I will still have the tutorials on Year of the Wager. So if you want to watch any of those videos, go back to the channel Year of the Wager to learn how to play some of these games. But we're going to have the poker vlogs here going forward. I'm excited. I hope you're excited, and let's dive in. We kick off the action with your favorite and my favorite, Badugi. We are playing 2040 at the Wynn, and I'm dealt deuce, jack 6 in middle position. I make the call for $20, but the small and big blinds had other ideas and 3-bet to 60. I make the call, and we draw 2. Now, when you live your life on the straight and narrow path, you don't have to wait long to be rewarded. And that's why I hit my 9 high Badugi on the first draw. Now all we have to do is see how much money we can extract from the situation. I lead out for $20 and get raised to $40 from the small blind. I don't want to scare him off, especially if he made a weak Badugi, so I just make the call since I'm in position, and we'll get to stand pat last. We lose the big blind, and as predicted, the small blind stands pat. I stand pat behind him, which probably catches him off guard, and the fact that I didn't re-raise probably makes it look like I'm holding a Badugi much worse than a 9. He leads out for $40 and I make the call, and he stays pat once again, as do I, and we both commit another 40 to the middle on the last betting round. He says he has a 9, as do I, but that's why you draw from the bottom up, because my 9-6 deuce ace is better than his, and I scoop the pot. On the next hand, we switched the game up to deuce to 7 triple draw, and I'm dealt a good but tricky hand. I've got 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, which is interesting. On one hand, I've got 4 to the wheel and can be drawing 1 looking to make a 5 or a 6. Drawing an 8 would be a marginal improvement, but not much better than what I'm holding currently. Then again, depending on how many cards people are drawing, it might be worth sticking with my 9-7, because if it was after my second draw, I would stand pat on it anyway. I need to make a decision on how I want to play it. I'm in position and I raise the pot to $40 and get the hand narrowed down to heads up. He draws 1, which is tough because he can easily outdraw me. I should probably draw 1 as well, but I ignore my gut and stand pat. He checks to me and I fire out for $20. He makes the call and I stand pat again while he takes another card and checks again. I bet 40, he then check raises me to 80. On the face, this looks like he made his hand, but honestly, if I were in his position and missed my hand, I still would have check raised, because you have to think my hand is weak and I'll break. Good players will put you to the test like that. And I plotted my course from the very beginning. I simply have to see if I'm good or not. So I make the call and we both stand pat again. He decides to bet again, and at this point I know I'm likely beat, and he does in fact turn over an 8-6. You win some, you lose some. We change the variation to Badugi, and I'm dealt 2, 4, 5, 7, 10, but only 2 different suits in the wheel cards. I raise to 40 and get 3 callers. I draw 1, as do 2 of my opponents, with the other opponent taking 2. I immediately pull a money card in the 6 of spades. I should be good for at least half the pot, and I need to build it up. I bet $20 and everyone calls. I stand pat while everyone draws one. I lead out for $40 and we lose one player but keep two other callers. I lead out for another $40 and I lose one more opponent, but I do get a call. I turn over my 7-6 with a 3-card 7 Badugi, and to my surprise, it holds up to scoop the entire pot. Go figure. Since that hand worked out so well, I tell the dealer to make it a double. And for some reason, I decide to call the $40 with only a deuce and a 6 to draw to. There are 3 players and one of us is Pat, and guess what? It ain't me. I foolishly draw 3 and draw another 2 and a 6 and another 8, which I threw away. This is a very interesting hand I just picked up. I decide to make the call, keep the deuce 6-8 rainbow, and draw 2. On my second draw, I make the 8-6 hand with another 3-card Badugi when I pick up the 3 and the 4. I call $40 and we lose a player. We both stay pat and check the river. I turn over my hand and she also has a 3-card Badugi with an 8-6, but she had no deuce. And in this game, it's like the Cleveland Indians once said.
The American Express card. Don't steal home without it.
I take down the entire pot. For the next hand, I switch seats so I can get a better view of the table. We are playing 5-card Omaha double board, where we are looking for the best high hand and best low hand across both boards. I'm dealt ace 2 3 8 8 with a suited ace. I raise the $40 and get 3 callers. The board comes 4-6 jack on the first board and 8-10 queen on the second board. I've got a set of 8s with the nut flush draw on one board and a draw to the nut low with a gut shot on the other. That's not bad, so I lead out for $20 and get called by everyone. The turn brings a paired board with another 6 where I'm chasing the low and an ace where I'm chasing the flush. Neither one of those cards are good for me. But I make the $40 call, as does everyone else. The river brings me the nut low with a deuce and pretty much ruins my chances for a larger full house or a flush with the king of hearts on the other board. I raised the bet to $80, which was not the smartest play, but with 4 players, everyone can't have the nut low, and there has to be some dead money in the pot. I was right, and I ended up chopping the low with my opponent to my left, and a weak full house ended up surviving to claim the other half of the pot. The extra player staying in means I broke even on the hand. I ended up playing one more notable hand on this day as we switched back to Badugi. I'm dealt 2-6-7 queen on the button and I raise it up to $40. I'm heads up drawing 2 and I catch an ace and another deuce. I bet $20 and throw away 1 card and improve with a 3. Now all I need is
1. Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4.
And I'm gonna be at the bar getting tipsy. I bet $40 and get called. I toss my final card looking for that 4 and boom! I catch the 4, but wait.
Oh, no.
It's the wrong suit. It shouldn't matter though. We were both drawing 1 and unless my opponent made a Badugi, I should be winning. I bet $40 and get the call and in fact, do take down the pot. The game was good, but that was the only notable action for the day. I'll be back tomorrow and play it again. On day 2, while waiting for a seat to open up, I took in some Formula 1 cars outside the poker room at the Wynn because the Las Vegas Grand Prix was later in the week and I wanted to win enough money to justify buying some decent tickets to watch the race. A seat finally opened up and I buckled up to bang heads with my opponents. We start the action off like the day before with Badugi and I'm in the big blind with ace deuce. I raise it up to $40 and we go into the first draw heads up. I pull in a 3 of diamonds to put me in the driver's seat and I raise it up to $40. The 6 of hearts doesn't get the job done, but my $40 bet does and my opponent was gone in 60 seconds.
Do not lose him. This is an A-Star, sir, not an Apache. 150, 160. He's gone. God, man, this guy can drive.
We come right back with another ace deuce starting hand and come in for a raise again. I'm heads up again and my first draw brings me another ace. I lead out for $20 and get called. I toss 2 away again, and this time I pull in a 3, which once again puts me in the driver's seat. That's until my opponent raises me and I make the call for $80. My opponent stays pat as suspected, and I toss the 5 of clubs looking for a low heart. I didn't have to look far as the dealer gives me a beautiful 7 of hearts. I lead out for $40 and get called. Without a raise, I've got to be winning, and indeed I was. We switched the game to deuce to 7 triple draw, and I'm going to show you how not to play it correctly. Now, I was in the big blind, which is the only reason I was in the hand, but regardless, you should not play deuce to 7 without a deuce. Additionally, you don't play 4, 5, 6 because all too often it will turn into a straight, and those are not good in deuce to 7. So, I should have been drawing 3 and not 2, but maybe my mind was on walking through pit row and meeting Lewis Hamilton and not on the hand in front of me. Did I say you shouldn't play deuce to 7 without a deuce? Throw that advice out the window because you can simply draw a deuce on your first draw. I now have 2, 4, 5, 6 queen, but again, I'll need to draw 2 because mistakenly keeping the 6 means if I pull a 3, I would straighten out. I check call $20 and try my luck again. I indeed did draw the 3 of clubs and check called $40. We are still 3-handed and everyone is drawing 1, and I'm looking for the miracle 7. No such luck though, as I draw another 5. You didn't think this was going to be a happy ending, did you? I told you I was going to show you how not to play deuce to 7. This next hand is one of the wildest hands of the day as we switch the game up to Omaha. I start out with the raise when I'm dealt ace, ace, jack, 2, 3. There are 3 callers and the flop comes 4 ace, queen. I've got a set of aces and a wheel draw on the board and a pair of aces in my hand. I lead out for $20. Everyone calls and I toss the jack. 2 other players draw 1 card as well, and 1 player draws 2 cards. The turn is the 5 of hearts, giving me the nut straight on the board with a flush and full house redraw. I lead out for $40. It gets raised to $80 and called before we lose a player. I've got the nuts on the board, so I re-raise to $120. And that's when it gets interesting because the original raiser raises again to $160.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Then the player in the 2 seat has to think about if he wants to make the call or not, or if he's going to get squeezed in the middle. John is the player in the 5 seat who popped it to $160, and he wants to make sure he makes the vlog.
John, this is John popping it to $160 in the drama high.
Wait, tell me, I do a lot of dumb things, and we'll see if this one works out, you know?
The 2 seat smartly but miraculously folds what I would come to find out was a made queen high flush in his hand. Wow, he's better than me. I raise again to $200 and John calls. In hindsight, it would have been nice to keep the 2 seat in for a few more rounds of betting. The river is another heart which counterfeits my straight, but I have a low flush now. I check and call $40 on the river. Lucky for me, the heart came because I ended up winning the board with my flush when John had made a flush in his hand and the same straight on the board that I had, which would have meant that I would have been quartered, but I got bailed out. John's a good guy, and he asked me to make sure he looked good for the ladies who watched the vlog and to use AI if I need to, which I'm glad I did because this is what John looked like before we enhanced the image.
What's it saying, my precious, my love?
We switched the game from Omaha to Super Razzdeucey, and I'm dealt 4, 5, 8, 8 in the hole with a 3 up. That means once I toss my 8s, I'll have a rainbow wheel draw. I complete the bet and I'm heads up heading into 4th Street, which is the 7 of spades. I am now 4 to the nut, but I'm still looking for a heart. I lead out for $20 and get raised, which is kind of hilarious. I make the call as not to scare them off. The Jack of Spades on 5th Street is a bad card, so I just call the $40. The deuce on 6th Street gives me the nuts for the deuce to 7 hand. If I can only find a heart on the river, I should be in decent shape to scoop the pot. I lead out for $40 and get called. The river is another deuce and it's not a heart, and my opponent made a Badugi. All that work just to split the antes. We stick with Super Razzdeucey, and I've got ace 779 in the hole with the deuce showing. I call the $20 and toss the ace and the 7. There are 3 players. I catch the 3 of clubs on 4th Street, which is a great card, and I act first, so I bet $20 and get 2 callers. The Queen of Hearts makes my Badugi, but it's nothing I want to write home about. I call $40. The 6 of clubs on 6th Street gives me a 9 high with a Queen Badugi. I lead out for $40 and everyone stays in the pot. Now I'm looking for a little heart just like the Tin Man on the river.
I could stay young and chipper, and I'd lock it with a zipper if I only had a heart.
That's why you have to be cool with the wizard, because wouldn't you know, he gave me the 5 of hearts. That means I've got a 7 high with a 7 Badugi, and in every poker room around the globe, that is good enough for a scoop. I lead out for $40, and then I get raised. With a hand like I've got, of course I'm not scared.
I fight you with one paw tied behind my back. I fight you standing on one foot. I fight you with my eyes closed.
I raise to 120 and get called. I turn over the truth, but of course, John had a 6 Badugi and 1 notches me, so we end up chopping the pot.
We make some big hands against each other. Yeah. Make sure you make me look good in the video. I gotta set up straight. Make sure you make me look good.
He again wanted me to make sure I made him look good in the video. We switched the game up to Badugi, and this is another interesting hand. I start off with ace 2-4, 10 king, and I've got 3 to the wheel, so I raise it to $40. One of my opponents calls and draws 4, which is always fun. We've got 3 players heading into the first draw. My first draw gives me a 9 and a 6. The 6 is great, and the 9 makes my Badugi, but not a Badugi that's going to win, so I make a bet with plans of throwing it away. I lead out for $20. And John, who drew the 4 cards, raises to 40. I call the 40 and toss my 9. The second draw pairs my deuce, so I check. John leads out for $40 and gets raised to $80. I make the call, needing 1 more card to make my dreams come true. Boom! I get the 3 of diamonds, giving me a 6 high hand with a 3-card Badugi. I bet $40 and get 1 caller. He then shows me that he has the exact same hand, the number 2 hand in ace to 5 with the exact same 3-card Badugi. On the next hand, the game switches to deuce to 7 triple draw, and I'm dealt deuce 7, 10, 10 queen. I call the $40 raise, out of position, and go heads up into the first draw. I bring in another deuce and a 9 and a 10. That's not gonna cut it, so I check call and try again. This time I'm giving 2 8s and another 9. Because I'm stubborn, I decide to make a move. I believe my opponent was going to still be drawing cards, so I decided to check call and only draw 1. No matter what, I was going to be leading out for a bet. The move is going to have to work because I paired my deuce. I lead out for $40, and lucky for me, my opponent did brick and folded, allowing me to steal a pot. We switched the game to Super 7 card stud 8 or better, and this is another crazy hand. I'm dealt ace 7 7 in the hole with a 7 up. Now when you're playing super stud, it's more likely that you're going to be rolled up than in regular stud, but it's still rare. Not only am I rolled up with 7s, I have to throw away a pair of aces. How often do you see that happen? I complete the bet to $20 and get 4 players to call. I'm going to have to try and outrun a lot of players. I want to boat up, so the King of Hearts on 4th Street is the first card I'm going to be looking to pair. I call $20, as does the rest of the table. The 9 of diamonds on 5th Street does not look like a king to me. I call $40, as does everyone else and their mama. I'm starting to have a bad feeling about this hand. The 10 of diamonds on 6th Street is also not a card giving me a full house. I call another $40, and I've got 1 more crack at hitting a boat on the river. The queen on 7 leaves me boatless, and although I know I'm beat, I make the call to see the bad news. My opponent had a flush and a 7 low. We keep the same game for the last notable hand of the session. I start off with ace-2-5 of hearts, and I'm looking for the steel wheel. I raise it up to $20 and we head to 4th Street with 4 players. The 4 of hearts on 4th Street is looking mighty sexy to me. I call the $20 to keep the people in the action. I get raised and happily make the call. The 6 of clubs is not a heart because that's not how suits work, but it is a low card, and that gives me a 6 high for the low side of the pot, which is not bad at all. I call $40 and we lose a player. 6th Street is the 7 of hearts, which gives me the ace high flush. I lead out for $40 and get called heads up. I bet the river and get called and show my opponent the bad news. I scoop a nice one. I decide to pack it up and slide on out. I ended up playing several more days in Las Vegas and finished my week taking in the F1 race, which was the first time I've ever done that. Those cars were super fast, and I think I'm a fan now. Also, lucky for me, that week Shedeur Sanders was named the starter for my Cleveland Browns, and I got to see him play the Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. He got the win in his first start, and it was an awesome experience. So as you can see, that was a pretty fun 2-day session while I was in Las Vegas for the Mixed Game Festival. I played more hands than I showed on the video. So day 1, I actually lost a little bit, and day 2, I actually won a little bit. So I ended up $240 for the 2-day session. Not my best outing, but also by far not my worst. So I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, go ahead and like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thanks.